Well, I expected naman at first talaga that like my life would like once law school starts, like my life would revolve around it. Like I'd have to devote all of my time to even during the weekends. And also like from the get-go, I anticipated that since I'm a working student, then it would be more difficult for me as compared to my blockmates who are like full-time students. But I guess like what I didn't anticipate is how much of my life would change once law school started. Because
Mm.
like for me, it's more than just the time, but it's also like your energy, your relationships with your friends, your family, and like how you treat yourself and etc. Those kinds of things. It's basically like a huge lifestyle change talaga. And like the first sem for me was more of an adjustment period, like not only in terms of like the academic load and like getting myself to ease into the rigors of law school, but also trying to figure out how I'm going to live the next 4 to 5 years of my life with this kind of setup. So yeah, well, I just want to share na me kasi I'm super close with my family. So I was used to having like weekends with them. Like I really treasure my weekends to like spend my time with them and etc. Because like my mom's also working and stuff like that. But then since law school started, I wasn't able to do that much anymore. Like I would at most give half of my Sunday lang to my family so we could like share meals, spend time with each other. And like at some point it made me really sad, like especially since COVID happened. So like since COVID, parang all of us treasured family time just a little bit more because we all realized like life is really so short, and as much as we can we should spend time with our loved ones and etc. So yeah, like at some point during the sem, I was kind of feeling the burnout, and it made me really sad that I can't spend as much time with my family anymore. But then I realized na lang and I remembered that we make the necessary sacrifices for what we think is important. And I just prayed na lang that hopefully all of this, like all the time that I'm devoting to studying, all the hard work I'm putting into law school, someday I just hope that it's gonna pay off.
Yeah, oo. Like, ayun, yeah, I felt yung what you were saying. Like, wala akong experience nga with, alam mo na, yung being in law school during the pandemic, having to sacrifice, like, literally my life, like what you mentioned. Pero I still felt everything that you said because, ayun, very important sa akin yung taking breaks talaga, yung taking care of your mental health. Like, I'm a psych student, so ayun, I really hope talaga na you continue to be strong, 'di ba? Amidst the ano mo na, the struggle kasi you entered law school like what Insel mentioned. This thing is like no joke. And then you entered unfortunately at a very alam mo na bad time din kasi yung pandemic and all that. So parang nagpatong-patong all the hardships and whatnot. But yeah, like what also Todd mentioned earlier, it's very important that you ano mo na, set aside din yung work mo and all that. And take the time. Because it's very important talaga yung taking breaks because it's what, it, what? It's
Yeah.
what keeps you going. Ayun, nabulol ako dun. Pero, yeah, it's, it's hard. And that's why, like, me and Tona, like, super respect you guys. Kasi Insel, ano, even though in law school, he's always studying even during the weekends, even during his breaks. Pero he still finds time to do the podcast with us. And like that means a lot, diba,
Oh,
to
you
us.
fucker. I was gonna say that later.
Oh,
That's
I'm
okay.
sorry.
It's correct that Mon said that like
You
it
can
was
build
very
on
in
it.
the
You can
moment.
build
So
on
I
it.
feel
Mm.
like yeah.
Supplement na lang.
Never mind.
Oh,
I don't need to make sip to Intel anymore later. It's just Ramon. Go
Hey,
go.
Because
Finish what you.
we've been ano, making Enzo kupal the entire time. So it's time
Yeah,
to
it's time to validate. Then we'll make him Koopa again later.
mm, diba, Enzo finds the time to be here with us. And then naman to, full circle, he actually doing an episode about what he does right now, being a law school student, diba? Then, ayun, it must feel good nga na from time to time na you take breaks. And then, as long as you don't lose track naman of what's important, like what Jude mentioned, diba? At the end of the day. ayun, I feel like you'll be able to go through it. And yeah, prayers lang also.
Yeah.
I hope
Well,
everybody listening doesn't get like scared or discouraged na, ay, mahirap pala yung law school. Like, I don't want to do it anymore. I mean, syempre, these are their experiences and they're being honest then with the experience, which is very important. So, yeah,
Yeah, what
wanna
he
nothing
said.
comes
yeah,
easy.
sorry.
Mm.
But it's
What he
fun. Like
said.
law is fun.
Yeah,
It's fun.
you love what you're doing. That's very
Yeah.
important too. Mm.
That kind of makes it easier also to
Mm.
not make it appear as such a burden to be learning all these things if you actually love what you're learning, and
Uh,
that's what makes it, not doesn't make it work. It just makes it more passion, right? That's all it needs. And good on you guys for having found this love for what you guys are studying and what you're gonna continue to study for the next few years. Because honestly, seriously, if I were going through that, I don't know how I would be able
dude,
to,
same. Yeah.
like even not like joking around and not being super like gago lang about schedules and all of that, like just hearing the amount of time and effort that it takes to sustain like learning everything that you guys have been doing so far. I can't imagine finding time in like in labo in my life, but finding having found the time to be able to do that like in the time um in the same time frame that I would be in if I were you guys. Like even now, like not really be like having work or anything. I still don't know how I'd be able to have time to do all of that. Plus my family, plus like this calls with my friends, plus the podcast, plus all of that. Like it's really you really have to nitpick the sacrifices that you're gonna give and the things you're gonna keep and prioritize, right? So like major respect to both of you.
So supplement lang. Uh, the workload is exactly what Jude was saying. Although the classes in law school are just 1 hour 30 minutes, 2 hours, the usual lang undergrad. But the workload, you really have to study, study all day and all night. What I said before. But in this, while you're adjusting to studying always, you should still not forget that law school is not your whole life because you're also still a daughter, a son, a brother, a sister, uh, ano pa, a cousin, someone who has friends. You still got a life outside of law school. So even if you're studying so much and spending so much of your time studying, you should still not forget that uh, it's not your whole life because there's still others. There's still other. You've still got friends. You've still got to take care of your physical, mental, and spiritual health. And you have to take a break. Remember to step back and take note of the environment you're in. Parang ganun. Just wanna say lang.
Mm.
That's so true. And look how easily the advice that you guys gave can be applied to life, right?
Oh,
Like these
yeah.
things that you're learning, even if it's so specific to law school, you're learning life skills that you're gonna need to do and apply in whatever you do, like from here moving forward.